Hi everybody, it's Mr. B, and before break we were talking about adding and subtracting fractions with unlike denominators, and to do that we used multiples. Today we're going to simplify fractions, and to do that we use factors. Okay? So let's take the first one here, 6 over 30. So let's say we've got this fraction here, 6 over 30. Now, there's a lot of different ways that you can simplify. You can look at it. There's a lot of different ways that you can try to figure out the fraction in simplest form. But what you want to do is you want to look at the numerator and the denominator, and you want to say, what number can divide into those evenly, right? What one can I divide each of those numbers in evenly? And you may look at that and say, well, I can divide each one by 2, right? So let's divide each one by 2. I can divide the numerator by 2, and the denominator is divisible by 2. Now my new fraction would be 3 over 15. Now, is that finished yet? It's not, because I can divide the top number by 3, and I can divide the bottom number by 3, can't I? And I get the answer 1/5. Okay? Now that one is in simplest form because 1 is only divisible by 1. Once you get down that far, you don't have to go any farther. That's the answer. That's simplest form. But check this out here. And this is kind of what I want you to see here. Let's say I have the same fraction down here, and let's say you look at that and you see, wait a minute, I can divide both of those numbers by 6, right? Because 6 divided by 6 is 1, and 30 divided by 6 is 5, right? So you get the answer right away, 1/5. And if you look, these two are the same. Okay? There's more than one way to do this usually. Usually there's more than one way. And what this takes is a lot of practice. When you're doing this, you have to look at the numerator and the denominator and say, what number can I divide both of them by evenly, right? Where there's no remainders. That's the key. So let's take a look at another one here. And this just takes practice. Some of you are going to be like, I don't like to do this, Mr. Bean, because it's hard. Yeah, it's hard the first few times you do it. But the more you practice, the better you get. And that's really what it takes. There's no magic to this at all. It's just, you got to practice. Let's take a look at 24 over 30. 24 over 30. Why is this not saving any of my whiteboards? I don't know. 24 over 30. Right? And when you look at those, you got to say, well, what can I divide the numerator and the denominator both by? Well, hopefully you can see that you can divide them both by 2, right? They're even numbers. I can divide this by 2, and I can divide the denominator by 2, and I would get 12 over 15. Now, we got to look at those numbers and say, is there anything I can divide the top and the bottom number by evenly? I hope you can see this. Maybe you can't. And that's all right, because when we come back, I'm going to give you some pointers on how to do this. Both of those are divisible by 3. Right? 12 divided by 3 is 4. 15 divided by 3 is 5. And that is your answer. 4/5. So there's nothing else I can divide both of those by. to get any smaller than that, right? And you might say, you know what, I'm going to show you this today. You might say, Mr. B, how did you see 12/15ths? Both of those numbers are divided by 3. I'm going to show you. I think I'm going to show you. I've got 12 and I've got 15. When I come to numbers, it's easy for me to tell if I can divide them by 2, right? Because they'll be even. 30 is an even number, and 24 is an even number. I know I can divide those by 2, right? But what about 3? 3 is a tricky one. What I do is, let's start with the 12 here. I'm going to add those digits together. 1 plus 2. 1 plus 2 equals 3. Is 3 divisible by 3? Yes, it is. So 12 is also divisible by 3. It's crazy, but it works. Let's try 15. I'm going to do 1 plus 5. 1 plus 5 is 6. Is 6 divisible by 3? Yep. You can divide 6 by 3. So then you can divide 15 by 3. It works that way. I don't know why it works that way. Maybe one day I'll figure out why. But that's how I do it. And that may sound crazy, but that's how I do it. So when I look at 12 and over 15, I ask myself these questions. Can I divide 12 by 2? Yes. Can I divide 15 by 2? No. 15's odd. Cannot divide 15 by 2. So then I say, can I divide it by 3? Well, 1 plus 2 is 3. Yes, 3 is divisible by 3. 5 plus 1 is 6. 6 divided by 3 is 2. So if I can do that, then 15 will also divide by 3. That's a crazy one, isn't it? And it's those type of things, it's those types of questions, those types of little tricks that we really want to concentrate on today. Let's try another number. Well, it's not. Here's what I want you to do. This is difficult when you're not here. When you come back next week, we're going to dive into this deeper, okay? So what I want you to do for today is take a look at your homework and do the ones you can do, okay? Do the ones you can do. If there's some you can't do, don't worry about those, okay? We will get to those. There's some crazy ones on here, right? Wow, there are some crazy ones. Holy smokes. Yeah. Ooh, that's a tricky one. Yeah, I see some that are really tricky. This is a 5th grade worksheet, okay? 4th graders, if you're stumped on some, give it your best shot. You guys can do this. You can do this. All right? We'll work more on it next week and a little bit more tomorrow and the next day. So, if you're stumped right now, that's okay. We will get there. All right, everybody. Have a wonderful week. We'll see you later. Bye.